Welcome to Modeling APA Best Practice, brought to you by Algonquin College, Pembroke Campus. By the end of this video, you'll be able to recognize ways in which to model proper APA documentation style in the construction of your teaching resources. Hey, what is APA anyway? APA is a documentation style developed by the American Psychological Association. We are currently using the 7th edition of the APA documentation style. But why do we use APA style for documenting sources? Well, APA is internationally recognized. APA gives credit where credit is due and helps us to avoid instances of plagiarism. APA style makes it easier to read complex documents. And most of all, using APA style models to our students the importance of academic integrity. But how does APA work exactly? Don't worry, once you know the basic patterns, it's easy. APA is a two-part documentation system, meaning that a brief in-text citation appears right after borrowed material, and the full details of the source appear at the end of the document on the reference page. What is an in-text citation? An in-text citation is placed into the body of your work as a direction to the full source details on the reference page. The in-text citation consists of three important components: the author's last name, the year in which the publication was published, and the location of the quote that we're using or the information we're paraphrasing within the text. So as you can see here, we have referenced Gagnon from 2020, and the information that we referenced is located on page 341. There are two types of in-text citations: narrative and parenthetical. A narrative citation is used when you mention the author by name in your sentence. So here we have our narrative citation example. Goldstein and Newell, 2020, explain that in today's globalized economy, consumers often lack knowledge of how their consumption affects the environmental and socioeconomic conditions of distant peoples and places. So here we've mentioned both authors by name when we're introducing our direct quote, so we do not have to contain their information within the final parentheses here. We've mentioned them by name, and once we've done that, we put the date right next to the mention, and then we save just the page location for the final parentheses. A parenthetical citation is used when you don't mention the author in your sentence. So here's our parenthetical citation example. We are not mentioning the authors here. We just go directly into our quote. So in today's globalized economy, consumers often lack knowledge of how their consumption affects the environmental and socioeconomic conditions of distant peoples and places. And the entirety of the information goes in parentheses here. Goldstein and Newell, 2020, page 1. Then, what is a reference? A reference is a detailed account of each source you have cited in your work, which allows your audience to seek out the full details of that source. While there are many reference types, they all follow the same basic style: author, date, title, and source. So in our example here, we can see our author's last name is O'Brien, and we've used their first initials here, as you would with any reference. We have 2021 in brackets. Modeling APA is the title of our source. And you can locate our source at this website. With APA 7th edition, it's okay to leave the hyperlink in your reference. Here's a completed reference page. And although these three sources are completely different, they all follow the same pattern. We have the author's last name, first initial, the date in brackets, the title, and then the website. Or in other cases, you would put the DOI or the publication information. The reference page is organized alphabetically by author last name. That's all great, but how do I cite my course materials? Don't worry, you cite your course materials using the same two-part system that you would use to cite your academic documents. Any borrowed material that you use in a slideshow should be referenced like this. So here we have strategies to combat the emerald ash borer, and we have borrowed this information from another source. So instead of just publishing our slideshow without giving any recognition to the author we borrowed our information from, we have indicated right here where we have retrieved this information. The same goes for any images you have used in your slideshows. They should be referenced something like this. So you title your image, you place it in your slideshow, and then in brackets underneath, you write your source details. So we've retrieved this image from Natural Resources Canada, and 2019 is the date of the image. Stop right there. I'm sure some of you are wondering why I haven't myself referenced any images in this video. Well, it might come as a happy surprise to you that stock images and clip art accessed through popular platforms such as PowerPoint and Flickr don't necessarily need to be referenced. These images are typically provided through these platforms as license-free and usable. But I have still gone the extra distance and let you know that I've used Canva. So all images used in this video are provided under free usage rights by Canva. And then I've given you the web link for that. I have also used the American Psychological Association APA Publication Manual, and I have referenced that here as well. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I really hope now that you'll have an easier time modeling APA best practice for your learners.